out the month, but we've got Clear the Shelters, and this is a great time for us to talk about adoption, fostering, volunteering, advocacy work, donations, all that folks can do to support their local shelters and rescues. And this is really cool, this topic that we have for you right now, because I don't know if we've given this much of a spotlight in all of our reporting that we've done on the volunteer and foster program over at Charlotte-Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control. So we've got Deanna O'Connor and Deanna Hubler joining us from Zoomy Toomey Run Club. And so just a quick background on Zoomy Toomey Run Club. This name comes from the name of the satellite location for Charlotte-Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control, which is on Toomey Avenue. But this is a volunteer group specifically for helping these dogs and also getting, I guess, essentially your steps in, right?
Yes.
So tell us about Zoomy Toomey Run Club. What do y'all do, and how did this get started?
So this was started by a foster, Ricky Highsmith. This is his baby. He was the founder, and initially he was the solo member. So last summer he started coming over to Toomey and taking dogs one at a time and running at Southside Park across the street. And volunteers, he started talking to volunteers, talking to staff, talking to community members, and he really built this program. So it is a run club / rescue / way for community members to come out and meet dogs, exercise dogs, and then also bring attention to the Toomey location every Sunday morning.
Yeah. By the way, we've got some clips and some videos that y'all sent us. You can see that off to your left-hand side, ladies, but folks, of course, you're seeing it right on your screen, but these are some images of some of your events. Important to mention, too, I mean, there's so many benefits of this club, but one of the primary purposes is to kind of curb kennel stress, which is the whole purpose really of the volunteer program, getting these dogs out of the kennels because they can get a bit wound up, if they're not getting out on a regular basis. And this seems like a great energy burner, right?
Absolutely. So one of my favorite things to do after all the dogs have been out and ran, walked, however you choose to interact with them, the kennels are so much quieter. You walk through, the energy is just much more calm. They've usually got their treats that are in the kennels with them. They're just happier, and I like to think that they present better for the potential foster and adopters that are coming in.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that we always try to talk about when we do talk about adoption and fostering and volunteering, why it's so important to keep in mind when you go to maybe meet some of these dogs in person, maybe not judge them but by what you see when you're looking through a closed kennel door, because sometimes those dogs might have been there for several hours. They're pent up. They don't always present their very best, and I kind of always think, how might a person feel, if you're stuck in a a enclosed space for a long time? And so, I mean, I so salute y'all for making this a regular thing, and it seems like a great way to not only help the shelter, but also maybe probably get to meet some really great people too.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. That's how we met. I mean, again, it's volunteers, it's fosters and community members. Anybody can come in at 10 o'clock on Tuesday or on Sunday mornings to Toomey, and we've made great relationships with each other. And so many of these community members and fosters have taken dogs directly from Run Club. They've fallen in love. They take a dog with them, talk to a family member, they take a dog with them, talk to friends. So it's bringing more attention to Toomey, providing exercise, and then also building friendships with the volunteers, fosters, and community members.
Yeah, probably worth noting too maybe some of the background on Toomey, because it is probably a lesser known location. Folks are probably more familiar with the longstanding Byram Drive main shelter, but Toomey was added as kind of a satellite location because the shelter, as we've reported on time and time again here in Charlotte, has been at max capacity pretty much since after the pandemic. It sounds like the kennels have been pretty full, and this is kind of an extra kind of overflow space that is giving the shelter a little extra, room and kennel capacity. But if folks don't know about it, maybe they're not looking over there for some really great dogs, because y'all have some great notes on some of the dogs that we're seeing over there.
So the dogs at Toomey are, they're great dogs. Obviously, there's approximately 30 kennels that are usually full at Toomey. The other thing about the Toomey dogs is they are moved over there because they can be in a kennel environment in which they share a fence with another dog. So they have the temperament that they can, not fence fight and get along with other dogs in that environment. So the Toomey location is not really spotlighted all that much because it is almost I guess you would say satellite/overflow location. But again, incredible dogs in about 30 kennels.
Yeah, I mean, it was the old Humane Society building, so there's a lot of that infrastructure that has remained. It sounds like they did fix it up just a bit. I've seen the inside of Toomey before, and you can kind of tell, it's an older building, but they've got it, set up so that they can house dogs appropriately. But to your point, yeah, not every dog can go over to Toomey. It almost kind of speaks well of their behavioral and inter-dog relationship, skills that they're over there at Toomey. So we talked about the fact that there's some great notes for some of these dogs. Y'all have picked out 4 dogs to highlight, so we can start off. It looks like we've got Bongo queued up first here, so let's go ahead and we've got Bongo's flyer first, and so we'll be able to read a little bit about Bongo, 5 years old, looks like he's around 55 pounds. He's a male, and just seems like a really sweet guy. What can you tell us about Bongo?
So Bongo he's an incredible boy. He's actually one that we use at Run Club for parallel walks. So we will try to do parallel walks with dogs just to see how they would do with another dog in close proximity. And he is one of our go-to guys. He has been there since May. It's unfortunate because he is such a sweetheart, but he's 5 years old now, and sometimes those quiet, calmer dogs get overlooked. But he is a wonderful guy, a volunteer favorite, and definitely a Run Club favorite.
Yeah, we've got some clips that y'all have shared of Bongo. So we do see the parallel walking here, him with another dog. Looks like this is just outside of the Toomey location. Looks like a real sweetie. Oh, I just love to see that. And the parallel walks too, I totally understand. Really great to kind of get a sense of temperament. Look at this face.
Right?
Oh.
And he loves to snuggle. He'll stop in the middle of a walk just to snuggle.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so next up we have Ollie. So we'll start off once again with Ollie's flyer so folks can get an idea of some of the notes. 3 years old, neutered male, kind of around that 50-pound mark as well. He's got a beautiful tan baby seal look, I can see.
So handsome.
Yeah, tell us about Ollie.
So Ollie is, well, the good news is an hour ago I got a text saying that Ollie went to be adopted.
Oh,
so we have good news.
Breaking
But
news. Okay.
This is breaking news. But on the flip side, there is another a dog similar to Ollie named Jonathan that is there, similar, maybe a little more energy, but a very sweet guy, great in the car. Are you familiar with Jonathan?
Yes, one of my friends ran him at Run Club, and she said that he could have kept on going, but it was great on leash, very treat motivated, very sweet.
Okay, so we'll reiterate once again, unfortunately the ship has sailed for Ollie, who is just an absolute dreamboat, but Jonathan, seemingly some similar notes and maybe a similar, does he have a similar look too as Ollie?
He does.
Okay.
He's the tan and white. He's a little bit smaller. But again, he's had great notes on vacations, good notes with kids, and positive with other dogs.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to Ollie. If you were interested in Ollie, please consider Jonathan. He's also at Toomey.
Jonathan over at Toomey for Charlotte-Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control. I think also I should mention this too, like the fact that you're able to get great notes. I mean, this is something that comes from an event or, a type of a volunteer effort like Toomey Run Club. You're able to get these great notes, and this actually does make a big difference in these dogs going to foster or adopt, because you can't always get notes like this if they're cooped up in a shelter and not getting interactions with other humans, kids, dogs, anything like it. Yeah.
And also to note, the runners will come back and give us notes that we share. And we also have a volunteer named Joe who takes amazing photos, and a lot of these photos are his.
Okay.
So the runners and the fosters and the volunteers take photos, but most of the amazing ones are from Joe. So he comes every Sunday and just to take photos of the dogs so we can update profiles and their albums.
Yeah. Next up here we have Polly. I just love Polly's face so much. She's got a great smile.
She does. So I haven't walked Polly. However, I love her love for the pool and the sprinkler.
Oh yeah, we've got some great videos.
She gets out. She gets some great energy out with whoever she's with. And I think everybody's just entertained at the end when she steps into the pool, when she steps into the sprinkler. Exactly. That is so her, and she loves it.
Oh my goodness.
Polly is 100% life of the party. Yes, she runs. When you get her out of the kennel, she wants to go right to the front door, not to the back where the yard is. She wants to go to the front door because she thinks the sprinkler and pool are out there.
Ooh.
She is so much fun and so sweet, and she's done really well with the kids at Run Club as well.
Yeah, we can see some great photos of her with some of the younger runners, if you will. And so that's great to hear as well, because, you know, that just means more potential households that could take Polly in, because she seems to get along with any sort of situation, seemingly. Up next, we've got Silas, and we've got Silas's flyer here, 2 years old, male, closer to the 60-pound mark, and really handsome man.
I've had him out twice. So once with my current foster, Jeremiah, where he beautifully parallel walked. We kind of had this cute little interaction, because you're always cautious initially when you have them parallel walking. You're not too close because you're kind of gauging and watching their body language. Then the second time I took him out, I was expecting a walk, and he was like, "I know you're a runner, we're gonna run." So that's exactly what we did.
Oh my goodness.
And actually, last week we nominated Silas as Runner of the Week, because he is another Run Club favorite. Again, loves kids, likes other dogs, great on outings. I think there's a picture of him there at the bookstore. He's a reader.
Oh, I did see that picture.
Yeah, I
Actually,
think-
that might be coming up shortly.
Okay,
if
yeah.
we
So
haven't already
we found
seen
out
it.
he likes books also.
That's
so-
good. Studious, you know.
Yeah, another great dog.
Love it. Well, we'll just remind folks that all of these pups we've profiled here. You can find more information on our website, WCNC.com. We also have an article up inside the WCNC Charlotte mobile app. If you'd like to learn more about the pups, and also the adoption process, and also the volunteer process. Speaking of which, I did want to chat about how folks can join your club, because I know, being a volunteer myself, I remember having to go through, the application process. You have to kind of get vetted and approved through the volunteer program officially to kind of hold leashes and that sort of thing. So what would you recommend folks do to try to kind of maximize their experience for Zoomy to Me?
So they can come over. Anybody can come over. If you just have to have a driver's license for identification, but you can come and participate in Zoomy to Me any morning. Come anytime between 10 and 12 on Sundays. And if you're not a volunteer but would like to be a volunteer, if you go to the shelter website, the volunteer information is on there as well. The process has been simplified a little bit.
Yeah.
The process is pretty quick. There's a couple trainings, but it's 100% worth it. But we definitely encourage community members to come over. And besides coming on Sunday, any community member at any time can go with their identification and take out a dog for a day, and they would appreciate it. So if you're not available on Sundays to come to Run Club, you can go over to Toomey between 9 and 5. They just like to have the dogs back by 4 so they can give them dinner, but you can take a dog out for the day. You can take them to the park across the street. It's walking distance to the rail trail at South End, so you can just walk them up there. You can also take them to Whitewater Center or some other adventure if you'd like, and the dogs really love it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, we talk a lot about the importance of volunteering, but I think once you do it, you just really see firsthand the difference that it makes for these animals in need. And I agree in the sense that, it changes lives, and it saves lives too. Can you, I guess, share any sort of success stories, if you will, of maybe dogs you've met along the way who ended up in great homes, or just speak to in general the experience that you've had as a volunteer and how that's changed maybe your perspective or anything like that?
I've met a couple that because I kind of follow their journey, because you kind of get a little invested with them when you've walked them. I always like to post them into my Instagram, share their story, share their link, and then I'll notice they're in the adoption report where I'm just like, oh, I played a little part in their journey. So I find that to be sweet. I've actually picked up 2 fosters along the way. One who, Heidi was a volunteer favorite, so many of the volunteers really advocated for her after she was so kennel stressed. She lost some weight. Now she's absolutely thriving. The girl that she was when she initially came to me, kind of shut down, is definitely not the girl she is today. So she's really taught me the importance of what decompression looks like, and giving a dog the opportunity to, just calm down, to get comfortable, and then, kind of acclimate into their environment.
Yeah. What about you? Deanna number 2 or
Deanna
number
number
1.
2.
I'm not gonna pick favorites at all.
Oh my gosh! Of course, I've had favorites over the past couple of years. I had one favorite, Kirby, that was a little bit stressed, had a little bit of an incident, but he was cleared. And then this amazing young girl took him. She lives out of town. He's thriving. He has a sister, a fur sister, and he's doing so well. Again, there's another one, Peppermint. Recently, she was there. Oh my gosh, 6 months. A long time, and we had an amazing foster, took her in. We all worked together to exercise her, and she ended up with an amazing family that had 3 kids, and she's another boxer mix. It goes on and on, how many, and you're just so happy and relieved. But my shout out really goes to the fosters. They're the ones that give them that decompression time and do the slow introductions and give them that safe space that they need to thrive before they're ready for adoption.
Yeah, I mean, having done foster work as well through the shelter, like seeing a dog that goes from totally maybe shut down or, maybe in some cases some personality concerns because they've been so pent up at the shelter, totally do a 180, happy, thriving, and then you see them and people go, oh, how do you love on them for so long and then let them go? It's when you get the pictures from the family, the new family, they're like, we love this dog or cat so much, and this dog or cat has changed our family's life, and then you're like, this is why you do it. It's, it's great for the dog or cat. It's amazing for the families where they go to too.
100%. And we do have some foster fails, which are also amazing. They
We
fall
did
in
that
love.
as well in our house.
So that's okay too.
Yeah. Ours is, folks who are watching on TV, there's a commercial that we have for Clear the Shelters that's running. Our dog is in that Rocky River. He's a brindle. We have multiple rescues that we've had over the years, but he is the foster fail from Charlotte-Mecklenburg, and it kind of sneaks up on you. I think you don't know that you're going to fail. And when we say fail, it means you were supposed to adopt them out to someone else, but you just decide to keep them for yourself. But yeah, they steal your hearts.
They do. They do.
I get asked that question about both Heidi and Jeremiah, and I think of myself as being part of their journey and setting them up for their forever. So that's just the frame of mind that I've put myself in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just kind of prepping the mind. I've done it too, where, there's tears, but it makes it all worth it when you see the forever family picture. Ladies, anything else you'd like to share? I mean, we've been alluding to Clear the Shelters. That's this Saturday, and so we're partnering with Charlotte-Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control over for the location. It's going to be Byram Drive is where that event will happen. But anything you want to share about that? I know a lot of volunteers will be out there. And we'll definitely have more throughout the week with the shelter itself.
So, I mean, the Clear the Shelter also applies to the Toomey location, so hopefully people will head over to Toomey. It is a smaller location, so there's less lines, so that's nice. But I'm just encouraging people on Sunday mornings, maybe even if you don't want to run or walk a dog, you just come over and meet a dog when they're out of the kennels and they're out in the park or out in the parking lot. It's a great way, too, to meet dogs out of that kennel environment.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add just about the overall shelter situation, volunteering, adopting, fostering, anything before we wrap things up here?
I'll say Run Club is also for walkers, so don't be intimidated by the name Run Club, because you can also walk the dogs or just hang out with them in the park, like Deanna was saying.
Yeah.
And I think that, volunteering definitely. I would recommend it to anybody that has any interest. Your schedule is flexible. You come and go as you please. The training has been simplified, but it's still very thorough, so you feel safe. And I encourage anybody that's considering volunteering to please go to the website and fill that out. And fostering, of course. We always need fosters.
Indeed, indeed. Well, it's been such a pleasure to have you both here on Live Impact News, and hopefully those pups we profiled will be finding either fosters or forever homes. And I hope that you get more folks over to Zoomy Toomey Run Club, because it sounds like such a fabulous group effort, and anything that we can do to support our local shelters and rescues is really paramount right now. So
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Once again, folks, you can check out more information on WCNC.com. You can also look for this article inside the WCNC Charlotte mobile app, and keep it here on WCNC Plus throughout the week. We'll be profiling other rescues and shelters and adoptable pets around our area. In fact, tomorrow we're we're set to speak directly with Charlotte-Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control about the upcoming event this Saturday.